This podcast episode is brought to you by Audible.com. To receive a free book of your choice, please visit www.audibletrial.com/mysticaccess. Enjoy. Welcome to the Mystic Access Podcast, where the magic is in learning.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Mystic Access Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Kim.
This is going to be kind of a Mystic Access miscellaneous podcast.
Yeah, we thought we needed to catch up because it's been a little while since we have released a podcast, and we wanted to let you all know what was going on in Mystic Access land. Also talk a little bit about what we are hoping to experience in our trick-or-treat bags later this month. And you guys are welcome to share your comments in terms of what kind of treats or possibly even tricks you may prefer later this month. So we're going to just have a little fun, and it's going to be kind of nice and casual and laid back. But we do have some news to share with you over the course of this podcast, and we hope you are eager for some Mystic Access updates, because we do have some.
The first update I wanted to talk about, sort of, is the last two episodes I talked about robot vacuums. The first robot vacuum was the LG Robo King, and the second robot vacuum is the Roomba 630. And I must say, this is just my opinion, having used these two robot vacuums for the past month and a half, I've come to the conclusion that the Roomba is a better value for the money. Yes, the LG is more accessible, meaning it doesn't leave anything to the imagination. If it's displaying something on the screen, it is announcing it without user interaction. The Roomba, when it announces something, at least the one that I have, you have to either hear it or you have to find the Roomba and hit the bumper to have it repeat the notification or the last thing that it spoke. For me, having them both and running them both in the same spots, same places, the LG seems to get stuck more and I have to hunt it down.
And, of course, all the information on the LG and the Roomba vacuums are in the show notes for the two previous podcasts. So feel free to check out the show notes if you're interested in learning more in-depth information about both. And you can find links to learn more on Amazon as well.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention that, just as a kind of a recap, the price of the Roomba, the 630, when I got mine, it was $319, but I recently saw a post where it was $249, but I don't know how long that sale was for. And the LG that I got, I picked up used. Again, I think the Roomba is a better bang for your buck. I also just wanted to mention that this episode is brought to you by Audible.com.
Yay, we like Audible.com. Lots of great information and books that you can't get in other places, especially in human narrated speech. So
exactly. So we have an offer. You can download one book if you sign up at audibletrial.com/mysticaccess. That will give you one book, and it's yours to keep, even if you decide you do not like Audible. But Audible is another great place where you can go and get reading materials. There's Bard, there's Bookshare, and there's also Audible.
They have an accessible version of Audible.com too.
Yes, they do.
Go to at audible.com/access, I do believe.
Yes.
And also, just to note, their customer service is fabulous. So if you have any questions, give them a call.
You can read Audible books on any devices out there: Android, iOS, Victor Stream, Plex Talk Pocket, the original Bookport, the Bookport Plus, and
BookSense.
Yes, and the BookSense as well. I wanted to just mention really quickly the book that I'm reading. It's a book called Haven Lost by Josh de Lioncourt. I just started it yesterday. It's a fantasy book, and you might want to check that out as well. I've gotten to the point where I think something is going to happen.
Ooh.
Yes, the book starts out where Emily is playing hockey on an ice hockey rink and she misses a goal. I mean, that's the first few paragraphs of the book, but it's called Haven Lost, and it's by Josh DeLioncourt, and you can check that out with your Audible subscription, or just check it out because I think it's a good book. And Josh is also part of the Maxccessibility podcast, which I listen to as well.
Very cool. I have a Audible book that I haven't begun yet, but I'm just about to start it pretty soon. It's the first in a trilogy, and I do plan on purchasing the other 2 books in the trilogy because this author, Sophie Moss, has actually gone through this program, and I can't remember what the program is called, where she can audition Audible narrators to read her books. I just think that's cool that she actually wanted somebody to read her books for Audible and make them available through an audio format, and to really get personally involved with the experience of picking her own narrator and stuff. So I thought that was neat. But I think the first in the trilogy is called The Selkie Spell. And the author's name is Sophie Moss, and it's sort of a mix of fantasy and romance, and it's set in Ireland, and it has Selkies in it. So, for me, doesn't get very much better than that. So they're quite short. The first one, I think, is just a little over 8 hours. So it's going to be a short, quick read, but it's actually a book I saw on Kindle years ago, and I thought, I really want to read that. And finally came out on Audible, and I said, I'm just going to go ahead and get it and begin this trilogy. So I'm excited. A little magic, a little romance, and Ireland, and some fantasy. So that's right up my alley. I'm all about that. So
yeah, and
I'm really excited to start that.
The Haven Lost is kind of like that way, too. So I'm really going to enjoy reading that as well. Again, if you go to www.audibletrial.com/mysticaccess, you will be able to sign up and get a book of your choice for free.
And the Audible plans, just so you know, the prices are very reasonable for what you get, especially considering that there's human narrated speech. If that's something that's important to you, it might be fun to check them out. And if you're an Audible member, not only do you save money over the Audible prices that are generally listed for everybody on the site, there are a ton of BOGO sales. There's always a big Halloween or end of October BOGO sale. So now might be a really good time to check it out if you're at all interested.
So for those that are uninitiated, what is a BOGO sale?
A BOGO sale is a buy one, get one sale, which is fun. So if you have an Audible credit, you can buy 2 books for 1 credit. I have racked up a lot of Audible books over the last couple of years by doing BOGO sales, and I found some really cool books as a result. So they give you a big list of sometimes up to a few hundred books, and you can go in and you can get 2 for 1 credit. So
sounds good.
It is.
Mm-hmm. So what's next on the agenda?
Next on the agenda, we have quite a lot to announce for you guys. Probably the first and foremost announcement that I'd like to share is that we have not 1, not 2, but 4 new tutorials in the works.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Chris already mentioned one of them to you in our last podcast.
Correct. The first one is the Scuba 450 mop, which is currently in production as we speak. And what are the other ones, or are they too early to be announced?
A couple are too early to be announced. I will let everyone know that I am working on a chicken nugget tutorial. We've kind of been thinking about that for some time, and that's in the works. It's something that I'm still attempting to get my head around. It's not a product that I'm as familiar with as Chris is, but I'm getting my head around it, and I have been neglecting my own Twitter feed quite insatiably neglecting. If there's such a thing as insatiable neglect, that's what I've been doing. So it's definitely time to familiarize myself with something as cool as chicken nugget, and I thought, well, if I'm doing that, might as well share that little journey with the rest of y'all. I don't think it'll be necessarily a very long tutorial, kind of like the scuba tutorial. It's going to be relatively short and sweet, but there's a lot to cover. So logistically, I'm in the midst of making outlines and really learning what I'm doing and playing and experimenting and trying to get that ready to go for y'all. So I'm hoping to have it out by the 1st of November, but I'm not going to guarantee you. At least by, Thanksgiving, Cyber Monday, right in that date, it will definitely be ready for release, but hopefully sooner.
Uh-huh.
If you're interested in being one of the first to know about it, we're going to do our normal thing. If you let us know earliest, you will be the first to know when it's out. So send an email, info@mysticaccess.com, put chicken nugget in the subject line, and we will put you on the early priority list. The other two, don't know if we necessarily want to say anything about them, but I will say they will be extra delightful to listen to.
Yes,
Just a hint.
they will. And we're just going to leave it at that.
But we will be able probably to tell you about those sooner than the chicken nugget tutorial. Just saying.
Yes.
Those will be ready to go prior to chicken nugget.
So we are going to take a short break and play a house ad.
Mystic Access prides itself on bringing you both free and paid information that will support, empower, and inspire you in your life and work. We gladly and gratefully accept your donations in any amount to keep our mission going. Your donations assist us in paying for site hosting and maintenance, upgrading our recording studios, and purchasing the assistive technology which we share with you in our podcasts, tutorials, and trainings. If you aren't able to donate to us financially, but you would still like to help, we would appreciate you spreading the word about our offerings to your friends, colleagues, and anyone else whom you feel may benefit from knowing about our work. However you are willing to support us, please know that we appreciate it very much. Financial donations may be made to us via PayPal at info@mysticaccess.com, or you may call us to donate via phone or to learn about additional ways to donate. Call 716-543-3323. Thank you for your support.
Okay, we're back from our break, and we wanted to talk about the trick or treats, and that is, what are we looking for? What would we like in our Halloween basket?
Oh yes, by all means. If there was a trick or treat, the assistive tech edition, what would we want? That's a really scary question to ask us. We started thinking about that the other day, saying, what are we going to talk about in this podcast? And I thought, my God, it's too early to start talking about holiday crap. I'm just not going there in October. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. So we said, let's talk about what we want in our trick-or-treat bags.
When I was little, I used to carry around this orange pumpkin that was probably almost as big as me. But, you know, all the candy and stuff would go into that pumpkin as I walked up to the door with my Halloween costume on or whatever. And if I had that, it may be a little bit bigger to put the treats in. One thing that I would really love in my trick-or-treat basket is a laptop by HP. Now, you may think, why would you want a laptop by HP when you're on a computer or whatever? This is, and I just learned about this a couple days ago, a Star Wars edition HP laptop. Apparently it has graphics, Star Wars graphics all over it, on the outside, when the laptop's closed, when it's open. It's red and black from what I understand. And it also has Star Wars themes and sound effects from also what I understand. So that's what I want to see in my trick-or-treat basket.
I love that pumpkin concept. I probably had a pumpkin bucket or something like that in my own trick-or-treat bag when I was, or for my own trick-or-treat bag when I was wandering around doing my trick-or-treating as a little witch or whatever I happened to be in the course of that particular Halloween. Although I think as a grown-up little witch for Halloween, I think I would probably appreciate something in Italian leather and soft and supple and beautiful for my Halloween trick-or-treat bag. Just saying. Anyone who cares. But what would I want inside this supple Italian leather trick-or-treat bag?
It's got to be orange.
It's got to be orange?
It's got to be orange.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Trick-or-treat bag.
Has to be autumnal, doesn't it?
Yes.
All right. We can definitely do that. Orange is good. I probably have a purse right now that would work for the color of a nice autumnal trick-or-treat bag. I think it's actually called Poppy, but still, nevertheless, close enough.
Mm-hmm.
In my trick-or-treat bag, the thing that I am lusting over most at this moment in the assistive technology world is a Vario Ultra 20. I have a Brilliant 40 currently as my desktop or desktop equivalent Braille display. and I love it. I know that Baum built those, and they're built like tanks. And the Varios are super amazing in terms of what they do. They have some basic note taker functionality built in. And I'm not someone who feels like I want a note taker that can like read me my Bard books and play me music. I got stuff that'll do that for me, and stuff that's very compact and portable. That's not something that interests me. But I do want a very luxurious feeling Braille reading experience. I will be a snob about that, especially because of the Braille display that I currently own. And I want something sweet and portable that I can put in my bag and take with me and thoroughly enjoy the experience. So a Vario is definitely on my trick-or-treat wish list for meeting those goals and for just being a really fantastic Braille reading experience that I can pair with 5 pieces of technology at once. And that's very exciting to me. So that's definitely on my trick-or-treat wish list.
But the Vario also can be used as a note taker should you
Yes.
desire, correct?
Yes, it absolutely can. It can do everything but play my books and my music. And as I said, I have other things that can do that for me. It even has alarms on it, apparently. So I can create alarms and do things along those lines, which is great. That's really great for productivity. I think it would meet my needs very, very beautifully. And I never dreamed when I got my display that I would use it every single day, and I do. And so having something portable that I can travel with or even take across the house or take out on the porch and read my book, I think would be a super awesome, enjoyable experience. It even reads Excel spreadsheets. I mean, come on. So we want to let you guys know about something cool that we've begun doing just recently. For those of you who come to us and say, gosh, really like the fact that you're doing these audio tutorials, they've gotten some really great press and we've heard great things about them, but they have nothing to do with anything we're interested in. What about doing a tutorial on blah, blah, blah? Well, we have an answer for you. We have recently released our custom tutorial creation service. We're quite excited about it. It's a little different. I'm not going to go into all the logistics right now because there are some logistics involved. If you go to mysticaccess.com, you will find it. And it gives all the information on how it works. Basically what happens is you have a conversation with Chris or myself after placing your deposit order. You put down a deposit. We have a conversation, find out if it's something we can do. If for some reason we can't, we refund your deposit. If it's something that we can do, we talk about the essentials, what you want. They are customized for you, for your personal needs, and we create something especially for you. In fact, there is one in production right now, so I'm very excited about that. And it's a really cool something that I never, ever would have thought of. So it's really cool to see what you guys need, what is really essential and important for you personally, and we're really happy to create something professionally edited, professionally recorded, mixed, and with a little bit of our own flair as well. I know for me personally, I like to create something that's a little fun, a little humorous, and give you a lot of nice tips and tricks along the way. So we're really excited about this new service. If you're at all interested or want more information, feel free to visit the website and or shoot us an email, info@mysticaccess.com. And if you have any specific questions, more than likely you'll talk to me about it, and I will be delighted to answer them for you. We've kind of wanted to do something like this for a while and have not really figured out how the heck to do it. So I think we finally figured out logistically a very fair and affordable way that it could work for you guys and for us, and really get you something really unique for you. So we're excited, and we hope you will check it out.
The final thing we wanted to remind you of is the Mystic Access News announcement mailing list.
Yes.
This is an announce-only mailing list. I think we talked about it in the last podcast, but it doesn't hurt to remind.
Absolutely not.
This list gets maybe 1 or 2 emails a week, if that. And it is an announcement-only list. But if you want to reply to a message on that list, it goes to either one of us.
Absolutely.
If you want to subscribe, the subscription address is manews-subscribe@mysticaccess.com. If you want to unsubscribe, the unsubscription address is manews news-unsubscribe at mysticaccess.com. So it's easy to get on the list, and it's easy to remove yourself from the list.
Yes, and on the list we talk about things like new podcasts, updates, tutorials that we're about to do, new product releases, and probably the most important thing to you is we give coupons. Yay!
Yes.
There are exclusive list discounts that you will not find anywhere else, trust me. So, if you are interested in getting the best bang for your buck with us, definitely subscribe to the news list. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of the Mystic Access Podcast. As always, if you have any questions or comments, Chris or myself will be very happy to answer them for you. You can send an email that will reach both of us to info@mysticaccess.com, or if you have a question about the podcast in particular, show@mysticaccesspodcast.com, and we will be happy to get back to you. If you have any feedback or anything you would like to see in future episodes, by all means let us know. And one thing, we would really love some iTunes reviews.
Yes, we would.
If you enjoy our podcast, please go send us a review at iTunes. We would be incredibly grateful for that. It means a lot to us. The more reviews we have up there, the more people will see us, the better promoted we are. And that is good for you, and it is good for us, because we get to share more about assistive tech and more people get to hear about it. So
Yes.
If you want to give us a review, we would be very, very grateful.
Thank you, and have a good night.
Good
Bye.
night, everybody. Bye.
The preceding podcast is a presentation of Mystic Access, where the magic is in learning. To contact us, please visit www.mysticaccess.com. Call us 716-543-3323 and press 2 to reach our Mystic Access podcast comment line. Email us at show@mysticaccesspodcast.com and follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/mysticaccess. Would you like to spread the word about our podcasts? Please tell your friends and colleagues to visit us at www.mysticaccesspodcast.com. If you enjoy what you hear on our podcasts, feel free to leave us an iTunes rating and review. We certainly appreciate those. Also, you may feel free to use our podcasts in your own RSS feed. Just be sure that all of our contact information is left intact. Thanks for spreading the word, and thanks for listening. We hope that you have enjoyed this episode.